Some people eat for survival, others cook to thrive. Today, we meet someone who does both. Hi, Naomi. It's good to have you on the podcast.
Hi, Fatima.
Can you share a specific dish and the story behind it?
Food actually is beyond what we eat to satisfy hunger. It carries our stories, it carries our memories. There are so many stories to tell about how food does that for me, but my favorite is the story of love.
What advice would you give to students or young minds who want to start something they love but feel overwhelmed?
Find the balance, believe in God, believe in yourself.
Pricing can make or break a business. So how do you decide what to charge for your meal?
The first mistake you can make as a food business owner is to just place a price because you think this is what people can afford.
What's one thing you do consistently to keep your customers coming back?
There are a lot of things I do, but there's one thing that I believe every business owner should do.
Campus Hustlers with Fatima, Zakariyya.
Some people eat for survival, others cook to thrive. Today, we meet someone who does both. Hi, welcome to yet another interesting episode of Campus Hustlers, your weekly dose of entrepreneurial spirit unfiltered. I'm your host, Fatima Zakariyya. I am an entrepreneur, a corporate event anchor, a voice over talent, and of course, I am a podcaster. Joining me on today's episode of Campus Hustlers is Oluwatoyin Naomi Idowu, a passionate foodpreneur and first-year student of Applied Botany at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi State, a proud alumna of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where she completed her diploma. Naomi carries a deep-rooted connection to her hometown of Zaria, Kaduna State, a place that shaped both her identity and her palate. As the founder of Nawara by Toyo's Bite, Naomi is building a unique northern food brand that is more than just a business. It's a canvas for her memories, her heritage, and her love for storytelling through food. With a certificate in Basic Culinary Arts and another in beauty therapy, she blends skill with soul, crafting dishes that carry not just flavor, but emotion. Naomi proudly embraces her bi-ethnic Nigeria identity, drawing inspiration from the diverse cultural background of her parents. She's not just someone who loves food, she lives it. To her, food is history, therapy, connection, and pure joy. Whenever she's journaling her thoughts, reading a new book, or exploring new culinary paths, she brings the same warmth of curiosity to everything she touches. Recently, Naomi emerged as one of the top 5 winners out of over 400 participants in a competitive business grant pitch, a powerful testament to her vision, creativity, and drive. Get ready to hear the story of a young entrepreneur who is turning everyday meals into meaningful experience. Hi, Naomi. It's good to have you on the podcast.
Hi, Fatima. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm really good. I'm in high spirits. I guess this is my first podcast, so I'm really excited.
All right. I'm glad that you're excited about this. Okay, so let's get into it. Naomi, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, so let me ask you this question. Can you take us back to the beginning? What sparked your interest in food and entrepreneurship?
Okay, so I'll start from food. Food has always been a thing of interest for me, like since I was little. I would tie meals to films, movies that I've watched, books, or situations. Let me give an example. Eba. Anytime I eat eba, I remember this Aki and Popo film that I watched when I was little. So every food carries a memory for me, and of course, Nawara. That's my business, what we produce. Wara is a snack I enjoyed in secondary school, mostly in secondary school because it was there during recess and all, and when you're going home, it's the snack by the roadside. So I think eating something and then remembering an event that happened or something I enjoyed doing, it became a form of therapy to me, and then it increased my love of food. It went beyond eating to grow or eating to survive or eating to enjoy it or savor the taste. So yes, and then entrepreneurship, as far as I can remember, I think it was in junior secondary school school that I got really interested in doing business. It wasn't about the money. It was just about I enjoyed giving people value and then seeing them appreciate it or use it or enjoy that value that has been given to them. So I think that's where my passion started from.
Interesting. All right, so now, can you tell us what inspired the name Nawara by Toyo's Bite? The Nawara there is something I'm still trying to comprehend. What inspired that name? Can you tell us the meaning and the story attached to the name actually?
Okay, now nothing deep because the idea was just to produce awara. A friend had a bout of food poisoning after consuming awara, and then she swore that she would never have awara again. And me and her were like die-hard fans of awara. So I was like, nah, you can't leave me in this business. You can't leave me here. So I decided to venture into making hygienically processed awara, something that people can be rest assured and be safe that, okay, we're not going to be sick from eating this. This is safe to eat. So I said, okay, come up with a name. What name will I use? Initially, the business was Toyo's Bite, and it was mainly pastries, cakes, and all of that. But then I saw that, okay, almost everyone is doing this. Almost everyone can do this. Do something different. When you go to the south or the west, you hear people talk about our snacks in a degrading manner, if I should say. And then saying it is not enough, explaining to them that, no, we're better than this. You should taste this. You should try this. Why don't I show them instead of telling them? So I decided, okay, this has to be under Toyo's Bite. I already have a name. People already know me with Toyo's Bite. So what can I do that will make them know that we're still Toyo's Bite, but then we're doing something different. We're not into pastries anymore. We're going indigenous. We're going local. So it was going to be awara by Toyo's Bite. So I thought, nah, that was too basic. In the West, people call awara beske. So when I talk about wara, people are like, is it that one that is made from cow's milk? I'm like, no, it's this one. So instead of that, I wanted to name it Northern Awara, but that was too long. Northern Awara by Toyo's Bite. Too long for anyone to catch. So I just took the N from Northern and then put it in front of the Awara. So it was Nawara by Toyo's Bite.
Wow. This is brilliant. I must confess. This is brilliant.
Thank
my
you.
God. Okay, so Toyo, how do you intend to balance your academic life in applied botany with running a food business? Yes, you just started, so I was wondering.
Well, of course, you have to get good grades. That's why you're in school. You have to read and pass, read and understand. And then there's the part that you want, that you know that ignites your fire, your passion. That's the business. So these two things are really important at this stage of my life right now. And I can't let one be lacking and then put all my efforts in one. So how to do that now that I am a freshman in school? So I think that's why I just dedicated my year one to school, like learning and knowing how the system works. How can I balance this? How can I create time for my business and my personal life too? So I have to first observe the system of the school, know my capabilities. How can I work around this new system? It's no longer ABU. This is Bauchi. This is not Zaria. So things like that, I put them into consideration, and hopefully the vision board is up and we're still hoping it aligns well. But then you hear from me. Sure, you'll see results and you hear.
All right. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you've shared a story where you said that Aki and Papa used to come to your mind. Where a friend ate awara that was poisoned. So now, can you share a specific dish and the story behind it aside all that you've shared?
Okay, first of all, the awara wasn't poisoned. It had salmonella, harmful bacteria, because it was unhygienically prepared. So one of the stories that inspires me to do this is, in every story we tell, in most of the movies, you can't see a scene without food. You can't have a certain memory without remembering a time that there was food involved. Even if you were not eating it, there was food involved. And then I'm a lover girl. I'm a lover of love. So growing up, I would see couples by the awara spots where one elderly woman fries awara and then a man in love, a woman in love buying awara to share, sit down and talk and laugh. It just gives me peace. Seeing that kind of thing gives me peace. And I'm like, food actually is beyond what we eat to satisfy hunger. It's also carries our stories, it carries our memories. I think there's so many stories to tell about how food does that for me, but mainly I think my favorite is the story of love, not just even the erotic kind, the platonic one between friends, between family. I remember sharing awara in the evenings with my father, my mother, and my sisters, and the things we laugh about, talk about while eating and enjoying, savoring the taste of that snack snack or food. It's just something that I think everybody should experience and enjoy.
Interesting. And you are giving me goosebumps right now. Okay, so now tell us about the grand speech you recently won. What was that experience like?
Okay, the Mariam Atinuke Footprint Foundation Student Entrepreneurship Grant. That's the MAF, yes. So I was just a normal day of scrolling on Facebook, and one of the Kaduna influencers that I follow, Rhymebox, shared a post, and then I saw that it was a student entrepreneurship grant, and I was like, oh, I'm a student and I'm an entrepreneur, so let's see. So I went through it, saw the criteria listed, and I was like, okay, I think I fit into some of this. I was scared at first, but I said, well, let me just try. Even if I will fail, at least I tried for my business. So I did, and then one of the criteria was a little bit like a deal breaker for me. They asked that we make a video, a 2-minute video pitch, and post it on Facebook. I really don't like putting my videos or photos out there on social media. I'm not a fan of that, and I'm very camera shy. So I was like, how would I pull this off? But then I filled the form, and then I was like, you know what? Take risks. You're an entrepreneur. You know that these are things you have to do to scale up your business or move forward. You can't be timid forever. So I did that, made the video pitch, and I submitted. And when I started following up, I clicked on the hashtag, seeing other videos that people made. I saw many beautiful business ideas that people had, amazing, wonderful ideas. And I was like, oh my God, do I even have a chance here? Look, I was inspired. Seeing this particular entrepreneur, Abacha Amaka, she really inspired me. I was like, see somebody that understands what I'm talking about, using indigenous food to promote ourselves, to promote our stories and everything. And deep down, I was like, I don't think I stand a chance. But anyway, I just hoped for the best and I prayed. And I think a week later, it was 2 weeks later, I got an email that started with congratulations. That was all I needed. I saw it was from MAFF, and I saw congratulations, you have been selected. As the way I screamed, I was like, me, out of so many amazing applicants, me, I was chosen for this. Nawara, we were chosen for this. And honestly, it was a very exciting experience. We had to go to Abuja for the award ceremony and the birthday party of the benefactor too. It was a lovely experience. I would do it over again if I had to, honestly.
Interesting, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, so Naomi, aside winning the grant, what has been your proudest moment since launching your food brand?
Okay, this is a tough one, but let me say last year, Royal Entrepreneurship Awards, ABU. Yes, ABU Queens and Kings TV hosted an award ceremony for entrepreneurs, student entrepreneurs, and to my shock, I was nominated for Best Online Kitchen.
Wow.
Yes, that was a really proud moment for me. I just relaunched the business again, and then had just started pushing it, and then all of a sudden somebody was like, you've been nominated. I was like, stop playing with me. I checked and I saw Now I Have My Toyo's Bites. I was like, how? It was a very proud moment because people recognized the effort and then the spirit we are putting into this thing, and it was enough for me to be nominated for an award. Even though the nomination was a big win for me, like being recognized was a big win.
Congratulations once again. All right, so Naomi, beauty therapy and food seem quite different. Tell us, do they overlap in your creative process?
They actually work quite well together because benefits of food are also like for growth and for bodybuilding. Now, I went to makeup, but then I went deeper with research and practice. And it's not just about applying foundation, powder, or whatever. Food can be your skincare if you allow it to be. During my research, I found out that soya milk was used as a skincare product for the face by Chinese royalty hundreds of years before. And I was like, okay, this thing is really beneficial. And I also learned that soya has very special proteins that enhance beauty, enhance skin elasticity, things like that. So they do not overlap. They work very well. Beauty therapy and the foodpreneurship work very well. I know certain spices that I add to my sauce that will improve your appearance, increase growth of hair, nails, protect your skin, those kind of things. They work very well. Yes.
Wow, interesting. Okay, so can you tell us what you do as a beauty therapist?
I don't really practice it for others. It's mostly into the food production, and then for myself and loved ones. I am not really sure of what I do in beauty therapy to put it out there for now. We're still working on that one, but then for now it's just between my loved ones and then personally.
All right, I get that now. All right, so Naomi, what is your plan after graduation as somebody that is studying applied botany? Do you intend to practice after graduation, or you just want to focus on your business and scale it? Where do you see yourself after graduation in the the next few years?
Well, after graduation, I'm definitely going to take my business up the scale, and then I'm also going to use my certificates. At first, I was like, botany, food, botany, do they go together? But as I researched more and I spoke to a few professionals and people who have studied the course, I came to discover that there's a part of the course called economic botany, where you can grow plants for food. You can groom plants that will be beneficial for eating and things like that. And I thought, okay, this works with my business. So yes, and naturally, I'm a lover of plants. I love plants. So yes, I will use my certificate and then scale up my business. They will work together.
And I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
That the next few years, I'll see Nawara. It's not be Nawara by Toyo's Bite. It will be Nawara by Toyo Global.
Yes.
I want to see global in front of that. I want to see you cross the border.
Yes. Thank you. You will have
All right. So, Naomi, what advice would you give to students or young minds who want to start something they love but feel overwhelmed?
Okay. Firstly, I will tell you to believe in yourself. It all starts with your mind. It starts from your mind. It's not what you can do. It's not your skill. It's not your knowledge. It's not the capital you have. It starts with what your mind chooses to believe. Do you believe you can do this? Do you believe that you can actually succeed with this idea that you plan to execute? And then I see a lot of students complain that there's no capital. I want to do this, but there's no capital. Over and over again, you hear this from motivational speakers. Start with what you have. Start now. Start with what is around you. It's never too small. Whatever you have is never too small to start. And then you realize that as you grow and you keep getting bigger, you'd be so happy that you started that day than waiting for when everything comes together for you, when everything aligns for you. And then, not to be too religious, but faith in God is really, for God really comes through for business owners. You have to be spiritual too, because business is not for the faint-hearted. Honestly, there are days that you could collapse and you get overwhelmed or by loss. Yes, loss happens in business a lot, especially in our line of business, food production. When you work with things that spoil easily or they don't have a long shelf life, you can experience loss, and customers too can be trying. So you have to learn to have faith in God, learn to pray, and also learn soft skills. It's not just about hard skills, what you can make, what you can produce. Soft skills such as communication, how you can handle your emotions and all of that. You need to have that to add to them. And they will help you to be a better student, of course, because the more you research, the more you learn from your schoolwork, your business, everything will align once you find a balance. So find the balance, believe in God, believe in yourself.
Find a balance, believe in God, and believe in yourself. Interesting. It has really been an amazing time with you, I must confess.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. So quickly before we dive into the second segment of the podcast, some people are listening right now and they can't wait to connect with you because they are like, who is this talking? This person is inspiring me already. So where can listeners find you? I'm
on Facebook, Oluwatoyin, and Instagram, Naomi_Zani. Zani with an XANIE. Those are the two social media platforms that I'm very active on.
All right, interesting. I'll definitely drop that on the description box.
Thank you.
Listeners, we are about to dive into the second segment of the podcast. Naomi and I are going to be discussing the topic online food business, pricing, marketing, and customer retention. Let's talk strategy from setting the right prices to mastering social media and building loyal customer relationships in the online food space. All right, Naomi, are you ready for this segment?
Yes, I am. Yes.
All right, so tell us, pricing can make or break a business. Did you agree with me?
Yes, I do.
All right, so how do you decide what to charge for your meal?
Okay, so the first mistake you can make as a food business owner is to just place a price because you think this is what people can afford, this is what people will think is worthy enough of my product, and this is what they'll pay for it. You don't do that. You'll be at a very huge loss. In food, the market prices change every day, every single day. You can buy something for 100 naira today, and the next day it will be sold at 250.
Yeah,
so
true.
That instability, yes, can affect your business, can affect your profits. So you do not completely rely on the price trends of the market. You go 10 steps ahead. I'm not saying you should set it too expensive, but you estimate a price of the raw materials you are buying. Okay, and then you put in your, should we call it workmanship now, your labor, and then you also put into consideration the equipment you are using, wear and tear, like your knives, your bowls, they might break, they might become blunt, things like that. You put them into consideration, and then you put fuel because you are cooking. You put your for either gas, firewood, charcoal, whatever you are using. You put those things into consideration, and then you create a calculation system. Every business owner has their own formula that they use. It's either price of raw materials, raw foodstuff, price of oil divided by those things, your logistics, your transportation, and then you find a way to make it not too high for what you are producing and not too low that you run at a loss. Something that you and the customer you both benefit from. Nobody is cheating the other. So,
Interesting. I love the fact that you made mention of affordability when you started. Like, okay, it's not as if you say, I want to get this price because this is what people can actually afford. I love that. Okay, so now that brings me to my next question. Naomi, how do you intend to balance affordability for students with the need to make profits?
Okay, now as a student entrepreneur, you're a student yourself. I'm a student myself, so I don't just do this from a business standpoint of view. They are my target audience. So whatever I'm doing, they are definitely priority. Even though there might be customers that are not students, they are my main target audience. So when I'm setting price, I consider them as priority. And then would the average student spend 5,000 naira on a pack of awara? No. Because from that 5,000 naira, they can buy, especially girls, you agree with me if you stay in hostel. Once you get 5,000 naira, instead of buying something you eat at once, you just go to the market, get spaghetti, get tomatoes, get oil, and something that will last you for 3 days. You won't even think about that.
I've done the calculation when you just mentioned that 5,000 naira. I've done the calculation sharp.
You see, even I could be outrageous. I'm like, what are you making? Is there gold in the awara? So you think about, okay, these are the things I'm putting into it, and this is the quantity I'm serving. Would anybody pay 2,500 naira for this 500 gram of awara? Of course, if your product is good. That's why you prioritize quality over quantity. You prioritize quality over quantity. What you put into it that will make people come back and be like, okay, yes, this is really worth that amount, and I want to have it again. So yes,
I love the picture you painted. Actually, the quality over quantity of a thing is so important. I also believe that so far as you are giving me value for my money, no matter the amount, I'm definitely going to pay. And that is it. And that is one thing people should learn. They should prioritize quality over quantity. All right, so Naomi, what marketing platforms have been most effective for you as an online food business owner? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it your WhatsApp? Which one?
I would say WhatsApp first of all, and then Facebook too. But WhatsApp first, because I have a lot of family, acquaintances, friends, and there's also word of mouth. Once they see that this is what you're doing, they also help you report, that kind of thing. Yes, and they also tell others about you. And also TV platforms. Since my target audience are students, I usually advertise on WhatsApp channels for schools, like the ABU Kings and Queens TV. There's the ATBU Kings and Queens TV. Those channels will reach my target audience faster than my status or a post on Facebook would. So yes.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so now what's one thing you do consistently to keep your customers coming back? Is there anything like that?
Yes, there are a lot of things I do, but there's one thing that I believe every business owner should do to keep your customers coming. It's not just about the quality of what you produce. If as a business owner you are rude, you do not have emotional intelligence, and you do not do something that we call post-order checking, like after they've gotten their order, do you check if they are satisfied? Has it gotten to them in one piece? Do they like what they see? Customers really appreciate that. You don't talk to them as just machines that are just here to give you money for what you can give them. They are people with feelings. It's emotions that has motivated them to patronize you. Now, once you don't build on that emotion and build a relationship with them, you're going to lose them. You're not going to have returning customers. You just have one-time customers. So people get tired of patronizing your service or goods. So you have to build a very standard and very polite relationship with your customers before they make the order, during the process of purchasing or patronizing your service or purchasing your goods, and then after they have received their orders or received the service from you. It's important to maintain that relationship.
Interesting. So politeness, you have to be polite. It's going to help you. It's going to help you to places. In fact, if you're polite with your customers, I know that sometimes a lot of us entrepreneurs, we don't always agree with the saying that customers are always right. But to some extent, you not believing in that does not mean that you should be rude to your customers. You just have to know how to go about it, actually. All right. So So, Naomi, have you received any memorable feedback that changed the way you operate?
Yes, I have. Yes. I remember this one customer that ordered from Abuja.
Okay.
That time we're still operating in Zaria. So, there's distance and then we're working with food here.
Yeah.
Apart from it getting cold, it might spoil and it might be consumed by the transporter, whoever is transporting it to and from one state to another. So those factors, I was still new to the business of transporting food across states. I thought it was just my normal Zaria within Zaria delivery. I did not package it as I should for something that is going that far, and I did not take proper care to ensure that it does not go bad before it reaches my customer. I wasn't really informed about that part of doing business and logistics. So when it got to the customer, it was supposed to be a 3-hour, 4-hour journey, but 6 hours had passed. My customer had not gotten his package. I was beginning to panic. I was nervous. I was even ready to do a refund, but finally he got his package, and thankfully it was not tampered with. It was intact. It started spoiling a bit, because one thing about Awara is a very delicate food. I call it my princess because it likes being pampered. The right temperature, the right setting, the right ingredients. You do not treat it anyhow or it will just go bad. Yes. So it was going a little bad because of the heat, and then the packaging it wasn't that convenient for it to drive under the conditions of transportation. But the feedback I got from him, he enjoyed it, but then the bot was what motivated me to do better. He was like, the Awara is good though, but the sentence after that bot is what I took and I built on it and I did better.
So what was the sentence?
He said, not quote for quote, but I think paraphrase, he said, the Awara is good though, but I think it would have been better if you had not put this, if you had not added this, if you had sealed it like this, like that, and I was like, okay, thank you.
Wow, I love that. And I love the fact that you have implemented the corrections he gave you. This is what every entrepreneur will understand. Sometimes, even if the customer is rude, first of all, just take the message first. Forget about the sender, forget about who is sending the message first. Okay, so now, how important is building relationship with your customer beyond just selling to them? How important is that?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 10. It is very, very important to build a relationship with your customers, because you don't just see customers as people that will take your product or your service and pay you for it and then bye-bye. Some of them hold the connections to your biggest customers yet, to your biggest contract yet, to your biggest gig yet. The way you treat them is what they will carry, is that impression they will carry. And whenever they see someone that needs your goods or your services, you'll be the first person they recommend or they speak about. And the way they will speak about you, because I have been in a situation where I was in a space and then somebody was talking about craving Awara and all of that. And I wanted to go and I sell Awara, I can deliver to you. But before I could even talk, the person was standing with said, I know this lady, she makes Awara. She said in Zaria. I was like, oh, who is this? Who is competing with me? And then when I had Nawara, I can't explain the feeling I had.
Wow.
I was like, the way he was talking about my business, I don't think I can pitch my business that way. He was praising the product, praising the service, and was like, you get it immediately if you order now. Then we were operating on you order 24 hours before, because we're having issues with electricity. Yes, so he said, but if you order today, you can get, and she would do this, she would do. I was happy, and honestly, I was impressed. I was like, okay, if I've seen this one happen now, how much more of? And I think I remembered him. I remembered the customer because I went to meet him after, and I was like, I introduced myself, asked him a few questions, and then I remember that he was rude at first to me, but then because of the emotional intelligence that I had at that time, I kept being polite. Because one thing I learned from a seminar I took is that most customers aren't rude because they want to stress you or because they're angry with you. Sometimes you don't know what they're going through, and then unconsciously or subconsciously they just transfer aggressions to you. So you have to be the bigger person and like calm everything down, calm them down, and also give them a safe space to vent and also maybe get themselves together. So yes, I remembered him. We had a very stressless delivery. Payment was stressless, order was stressless. He even apologized for being rude in the beginning. And honestly, he has gone on to bring more customers, because some will come and be like, this person referred me to you. And I'm like, okay, this is what you can get by being polite and having a relationship with your customers.
Interesting. Okay, so now this brings me to my next question. Do you have loyal customers who have become more like brand ambassadors for your business?
I do. I really do.
Give them a shout out.
First of all, this will seem very funny, but my daddy is my number one customer, my number one returning customer. Shout out to Mr. Sanjoy Idowu, to Oluwatoyin Abiola. Shout out to, I do not know this person's name. He has refused to tell me his name, but he always orders. He's a very good returning customer. And Mrs. Ife Oluwa Precious, my Abuja customer. Mrs. Mumpang Shina, she orders from Canada for her friends in Kaduna. I'm very humbled by her patronage, honestly. Thank you so much. And so many others that I can't remember your names. Thank you so much for keeping us in business.
Wow, this is interesting. So Naomi, tell us, what tools or strategies help you manage orders, payment, and delivery smoothly online?
Okay, a good logistics system. For interstate deliveries, I have a specific pack that I go to. The driver and the goods collector, I've forgotten what they call them. I use one that I'm sure of, that I don't have to be panicking every time I send the product out. And then I have 2 delivery men that make deliveries for me. I have a sales logbook, because no matter how small your business is, you have to keep records. Records are very important. Yes, and a very smooth and stressless payment app, OP. I use OP. OP is easier for my customers to make payments, and also easier for me to receive payments too. So yes.
Interesting. And no charges.
No charges, honestly. They make business easier for us.
I feel like they set up OPay because of business people, honestly. Because it has saved us this sense of, okay, at least now you can even accept transfer for 100 naira. Not like before that, you be thinking that, oh, if you should pay 100 naira, at the end of the day, I'm going to have maybe 80 naira in my account because banks are going to take their charges.
Exactly.
This is not a sponsored segment, but OPay is saving the life of business owners. I can say that.
Yes.
All right. So now, and Naomi, what's one mistake you made in the early days of marketing online, and what did you learn from it?
Okay, so one of the mistakes I made from marketing online was I was quick to please my customers without even checking stories or checking the situations. Like, the product will get the customer and they'll quickly complain that, oh no, this is not what they ordered, this is not the measurement, this is not what they saw in the pictures, da, 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 da. And I would quickly like, okay, I'll send another pack to you, I'll refund half for you, I'll do this, I'll free delivery next time. Too many incentives that I should have just handled with words and questions that would have solved it for me. I was quick to throw freebies, quick to throw too many things that ruined the business at first, because I failed the first time. Because of that, I lost so much. I did not realize how much it was affecting my business. I was always including free delivery, a refund, all for one person, not just for different orders, all for one person. I was just quick to, the customer was happy, the customer was happy. I wasn't taking my time to calm down and assess the situation. Who is at fault here? Me, the rider, the middleman, or the customer? So I learned to just listen well and then evaluate the situation, get my stories right, and then take the next step of action that shouldn't involve free items or a refund or until it's very necessary. Until it's very necessary. Because there are some situations that an apology can resolve.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Naomi, it has really been an amazing time with you, I must confess.
Thank you so much. Same here.
Thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
But then, before you go, I have just one final question for you.
All right.
It's okay to think about it. So are you ready for my final question?
I think I am.
Okay, so Naomi, I want to ask you, if you could collaborate with any food entrepreneur, who would it be and why?
Now, I actually don't know the name of the owner, but there's this business called Not and Stews.
Okay.
Not and Stews. Yes. I feel like we have the same vision, almost the same vision, because she makes northern products too. Things like kunu, zobo, kunenzamia, masa, balongo, all those northern delicacies that you enjoy and love. And I'm like, this is somebody that understands the vision, part of my vision that I'm working with. And if I were to collaborate with her, I would get with whoever owns it. I don't know if it's a her or a him. It would be them, because I feel like I would learn more, and together we will be a force that people will have to stop and look at. Okay, this is what these people are doing. This is what they are trying to do. Yes, she already has a bigger stage, a bigger platform, and then me joining her, collaborating with her, I believe both our businesses will scale up.
Interesting. And I wish you all the very best. Who knows, maybe just one day you are going to collaborate with her. You don't even know, you can't even tell. The way you're admiring her, maybe she's also admiring you, and she'll be like, you know what, I would love to collaborate with you.
Amen. My God, please, hopefully it happens.
Yes, because there are instances where, like-minded people, that's how it works actually. You just see that you are admiring somebody and that person is also admiring because they love what you do.
Yes.
It used to happen. All right, so Naomi, like I said, it has really been an amazing time with you. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Fatima. I had an amazing time.
And I wish you all the very best. And I hope that when next I will be having a conversation with you, definitely that global is going to be on your name. Nawara is going to reach all parts of the world by God's grace.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Welcome. You're welcome, Naomi. All right, hustlers, that's all we have for you today. I hope this episode ignites your entrepreneurial fire. Rate and review this podcast using the hashtag Campus Hustlers on all social media platforms. If you're yet to subscribe, hit the subscribe button now. Until next week, stay hungry, stay focused, and keep hustling. Bye-bye.
Campus Hustlers with Fatima Zakariyya.